Hanson, so the purpose of today's visit is just to have a look at the cavity wall installation and the problems it's caused you.
Okay.
So where shall we begin?
Ask the question, I'll provide the information if I can.
When was the installation installed?
Probably 4 years ago.
About 4 years ago. And in 4 years, what have you noticed inside the property?
We've seen damp walls, etc.
So once you got the cavity wall installation installed, how soon was it afterwards that you started noticing the damp?
It was done in the summer. It was probably the following spring. So yeah, after the first winter.
Less than a year?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So to confirm what you just said then, you've had cavity wall installation, within 14 months afterwards you noticed your property was damp.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you know who to complain to?
I knew it had the Sega guarantee, but don't ask. I couldn't tell you exactly who Sega were or whatever at that point.
How did you know it had the Sega guarantee?
I was told that by the company that installed it.
Were you ever issued with that certificate?
Yes.
Okay, so you got the certificate.
Yes.
That's fine. So we're now in the property of Mr. Hanson following the cavity wall installation. He's identified a couple of problems. One of the problems is, as you can rightly see, is damp on the wall, and more importantly, where someone has put a drill through what we call a solid brick 9-inch. You can see this. My understanding is Mr. Hanson has contacted the contractor, no longer trading, but was trading at the time, and they promised to come out and do the repairs. What happened when you contacted the contractor, Mr. Hanson?
Basically, they said they'd either come out and do the repairs or compensate us for it. After several attempts at contacting them, they were just ignoring us.
Okay. As you can see, there's more damp here as a direct result of the cavity wall installation. Why this damp has come through is because there's a void in the wall. What that means that the insulation is in certain areas, but in this particular area there's no insulation in the wall, which is called a cold spot. A cold spot always creates mould on the inside of a property. Once again, we've gone up the stairs and here's another damp area. As you can tell, the wallpaper is starting to come off. We put a camera on the external wall and once again there's no insulation in this area. Okay, Mr. Hanson, now you've shown me all the damage caused by the incorrect install. What made you contact Sega?
Well, I had to complain to somebody and they were the only people I could complain to.
Okay, and what happened once you contacted them?
They sent one of the technical surveyors out to have a look at the property.
And did you find that very helpful?
At the time, I thought yes.
Yeah.
Because he said yes, there was an issue.
Yeah.
And they'd get it dealt with.
Yeah.
So yes, at the time I thought, good, we're getting somewhere.
So, Mr. Hanson, I read the report and the recommendation was to take the installation out of the gable end. Can you tell me what happened when the extraction team turned up?
Two guys just turned up in a van.
Unmarked van?
Yeah, there was no livery on it, there's no livery on the uniform either.
Okay.
They were here for 2.5 hours.
Okay. And your understanding is they're taking the bead out all of the gable end?
Yes.
Okay, did they leave any technical report for you afterwards?
Not that I can remember, no.
Did anyone make a phone call from Sega about the report?
No.
Okay, Mr. Hanson, since you've had the extraction done, we've done a further report, and this is the result of our findings, which have been sent to Sega. The cavity wall installation is in your front wall, it's been left in the back wall, and there's only partially, they've only done a partial extraction of this gable end. There's still quite a lot of bead left in there. Right. That's going to cause you bigger problems. I won't blind you with science, but if you've got cavity wall insulation in the front and in the back, and this wall, which is partly cold now, this is just going to create more condensation on the walls.
Which is just going to make it worse.
Which is going to make it a lot worse, yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Hanson, once we sent you a report showing you the, shall we say, the faulty extraction system, and we gave you the report, what was your next step?
Well, obviously I phoned Sega because they'd done the work and said I'd consulted an independent surveyor. At that point, Sega sent me £250 compensation for internal decoration.
And did they send a letter with that?
Just literally a letter covering why they've sent them the cheque for £250.
So to summarise then, they sent you £250 there's insulation in your front, there's insulation in the back, there's a lot of insulation in the gable end, your house is damp, it needs totally decorating, and it's got mould in it, and CU sent you £250.
Yeah, correct.
Mr. Hanson, I also understand that only several weeks ago, Seeger sent you a fact sheet about condensation. Seeger admitted that properties with cavity wall insulation are subject to condensation. Were you aware of that?
No, when I signed up to have it done, nobody said to me the condensation, it was all about fuel saving.
I mean, this is extremely important. If you had been made aware that cavity wall insulation could have caused condensation, what would you have done?
I would have thought longer about it, definitely thought longer about it, because reading that fact sheet, you have got to do different life choices.
Yeah. I think what we're going to do now is just go around your property and highlight some of the problems on the reasons why it shouldn't have been. So what we're going to do now is identify some of the reasons why this property should never have been insulated. Very good example here is this ventilation. This is a subfloor ventilation and it's blocked. More importantly, there's a vast amount of bead underneath the subfloor. One of the problems we're going to have to do is somehow or another extract that bead from underneath that subfloor. We've also stuck a camera inside the cavity here, and almost the whole length of this wall is full of debris. What that has done is caused a bridging, which meant this wall is wet, it's transmitted the damp through to the interior wall. Moving on to another reason why this property should never have been done is because of the blown brick. A lot of the brickwork around here is porous, and that should have either been replaced or the property should never have been installed. Another reason why this property should never have been installed is because it doesn't have a damp-proof course. Quite clearly seen, that's a very basic requirement for any cavity wall installation. Another reason why this property should never have been installed with cavity wall insulation is because the mortar line is very weak here. As you can quite clearly see, I just run my finger along it and it's starting to come out. My understanding, Mr. Hanson, that this property on the open market should be worth about £140,000.
Yeah, it'll be around that, yeah.
I understand you've had a local estate agent out, and what's it been valued at?
It's somewhere between 90 and 100.
Considerably less than what
Yeah.
what it's worth. Did he give you the reasons why it's so low?
The big one was the damp.
The damp.
What he's basically saying is we need to retain any value, we need to get this sorted out.
Okay. Did you mention something about all the bead being under the subfloor that needs to be taken out?
Yeah, yeah.
Mould?
There's mould inside, with bead under the damp floor. He actually mentioned there was dry rot.
Dry rot. So really, your property lost nearly
about
£40,000 because the cavity wall insulation has been done wrong.
Yes.
So as you can see from this one property alone, it's been installed wrong, and the implications of that, the property is damp, it's got mould in, and it's lost a lot of value. One of our biggest challenges is trying to get the guarantor to react. We find them very extremely difficult, we find all the government officials dealing with this difficult, and it just seems to be an absolute nightmare to make a complaint. One of our roles now is to try to get the cavity wall extraction removed, the property to dry and put back to pre-insulation condition. Unfortunately, Mr. Hanson is probably just one of about between 5 and 10 inquiries we're getting a day now from people with damp issue problems, all as a direct result of cavity wall insulation. Well, Mr. Hanson, what is the ultimate response you want from this?
I just want it sorted out. I want to be confident it's been sorted out properly, not just half fixed. as it's been done in the past. I need to know it's done properly.
Okay, I can answer that one for you. We've been in touch with the guarantor. They've had that report. Unfortunately, Mr. Hanson, they're dragging their feet, and we just don't seem to be getting anywhere with them. And we're going to have to escalate that sooner rather than later. But I can reassure you that this property will get sorted out as quickly as possible.
Thank you.